When it comes to your favorite villain, what exactly do you think of? Do you think of Thanos, the Joker, Homelander, Darth Vader? Or do you think of the Shredder, which a lot of people probably don't, but usually I think of the Shredder when I think of villains, and the Shredder is such an iconic character. It's such an awesome franchise, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They've had so much content going on. They've had movies, games, shows. Michael Bay, they've had it all. They've also had the 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, which each came out pretty much better than the last, I would say. The first movie came out in 1990, which is such an awesome movie, and it's really amazing, and it's well regarded as one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies out there. But along came its sequel in 1991. Just a year later, they came out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, which I would say is the superior out of the trilogy of Turtle movies, and I absolutely adore this movie that I watched it even before this review. And then you of course have the 1993 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which is not as well regarded as the other two, but hey, it's still a good one. It's definitely the weakest one out of the 3, but hey, if you like it, then definitely flaunt your stuff, I guess. I don't know. It's beautifully done with its costume designs, with its Jim Henson Creature Shop animatronic suits, and just how beautiful they're crafted. It's amazing that they did the work that they did. Then, of course, you have the story of the Turtle movies, and then the Shredder. You also have Vanilla Ice too. It's such an iconic character. The Shredder is amazing. Like, I would regard him as my Darth Vader. I love Darth Vader, but I would always put the Shredder and Darth Vader kind of like both into my favorite, like, kind of villain category. I would say those are my top. Those would be up there in my top 5 at least. And when doing this review, I really wanted to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. I wanted a full shelf of turtle figures, and I've always wanted to have the second Turtle movies collection because that movie has been my childhood favorite for so long. I have watched that movie on repeat. I adore that movie, and it's been so long since I watched it. Rewatching it again just brings up that hype again, and it's amazing. This version of the Shredder is, of course, based off the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, The Secret of the Ooze. This is a complete redesign of the Shredder's look. Well, not really much of a redesign, more just a retooling of his outfit. His outfit was really awesome in the first movie, but after being crushed in the garbage truck, he gets a brand new outfit with a brand new helmet, which looks fantastic, and I really do like the way this outfit looks on him, and it's just so awesome. This Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line is amazing. They have so many amazing things that I am just really wanting, but I just bought probably second expensive thing, because I am planning to buy another expensive thing from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. So, yeah, definitely look forward to those in the future. But I wanted to start off with the main villain himself, Shredder, which is what we're looking at today. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze Ultimate Shredder figure. And I absolutely have been looking forward to doing this review. I have played with him a little off camera, and I have to say, a little bit of a spoiler alert, perfection. So first of all, let's take a look at this box art. So this box art, I would say, is one of the coolest box arts I've seen in a while. It's got a beautiful image of the Shredder just in the dark, and I just love how you can see the little bits of purple and the just his whole outfit, but he's just cast in this beautiful shadow, and it looks so cool. Of course, you got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 logo, Secret of the Ooze Ultimate Shredder. You have the Nickelodeon logo right there, a little bit of a gross stuff on, from the price. I got this guy at a comic book shop, and actually it was just a toy store, not a comic book shop. And you could see a nice image of the turtles there from the poster, and a nice image of the figure there. More images of the figure here, and of course some stuff right there. What I didn't really know that they actually do credit the people who do the sculpting, the fabricating, the paint. So I think that's really cool. So shout out to those guys. And of course on the back you have a little spot here that shows a lot of what the character can do and how you can pose them just a little bit. But yeah, we'll get into that once we take this figure out. And of course, you can open up the window in true Neca fashion, get a nice look at the figure and another image of the actual figure there. So taking the figure out of his little tomb here, it's very easy. It just slides right out like this. And there he is. It is beautiful. Now, when you get this figure out of the box, he will have the kind of plastic cover over the cape so it doesn't get damaged. And damn, it's so good. It's so good looking. So there's the figure himself. And of course, I want to take a look at the backdrop, because the backdrop I think would be kind of cool to just take a look at, which I think I will be using for the display for the majority of it. But he does have this very nice little shop. Of course, they are kind of in a junkyard. That's kind of like where the foot retreated to. And yeah, that's pretty much where their base is so far. But it's a nice little look. It's pretty nice. It definitely looks like it's, you know, made from like scale accurate parts. It doesn't look like a PNG of a barn or whatever. But that's pretty much it, and we have the figure right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything out and take a look at these accessories and then the figure himself, and I am so excited to get into this. So for accessories, he does have a very decent amount of all of these little accessories here, and I think they all look very nice. We're going to start off with the hands first. He does come with 3 pairs of hands. He has a pair of closed fists that he is wearing currently, but he also does have a pair of open palm hands, which I think look very nice. They're painted very nicely. They are in a nice skin tone, but it's kind of hard to see with the lighting. But they are very, very nice looking. I do really like the way they're painted. They're a little less yellow than they are on the actual screen, but they are very nicely painted, very nicely detailed, and I really do like the amount of like kind of dirt that's on them. He also does have 2 pairs of kind of grabby hands. One of them's more of a full circle, but you can still fit some and spread the fingers apart. And then he has another one that's kind of like a, yeah, I guess half circle, I don't know. But he does have this. I would suggest warming up these hands, because these hands feel very rough to open just a little bit. So I would suggest that you guys heat them up before you put anything onto the hands. The next accessory that he does have is the spear, which the spear is what he kind of uses, I believe, at the first movie. He does not use this at all in the second movie. They pretty much don't use any weapons in the second movie, but this is pretty much the spear. It is very nicely detailed. I actually really do like the way this is all sculpted. I really do like this top blade here. It feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's going to snap, but it does feel very, I guess, nicely made, but pretty cool. You do also have a katana blade, which honestly, I don't remember him using in the first movie, and he for sure doesn't use it in the second movie, but it is really cool. He does come with a sheath, which I really do like the way the rope is painted and sculpted as well. You cannot put this on the actual figure, which kind of sucks. I kind of wish you could, but there really is no way to do that. You can unsheath it, which does look very cool, and it's painted in a nice silver to make it look like an actual blade. So I really do like that. Very cool. So putting that back into the sheath if I can. Boom. Awesome possum. He does have a thing of TGRI, which is the main focal point of the actual movie, which is very nicely sculpted. Of course, TGRI stands for Techno Global Research Institute, which is pretty cool. I really do like the way it's painted. I think the only gripe I would have is that the kind of green bleeds onto like the very edge of where the silver is supposed to be, but other than that, it is very nicely done. And you can see that this is like a full container. This is the last container of TGRI that they use in the movie. So very cool, and it's nice and full. You also get a tiny vial of the ooze that you get in the movie, which is very cool. I like how it's painted. This is when Shredder drinks all this up and turns into the Super Shredder at the end of the movie. And then the last accessory is a very nice sunflower, which I really, not a sunflower, a dandelion. It's a very nice dandelion that I really do like. And it's pretty much to scale with an actual dandelion, but to the actual figure, this is a big mutated dandelion that you get here, but it's very nicely sculpted. I very much like the way that it's painted, and I just think that the stem looks awesome. I think it's just super, super cool. But yeah, that's all of his accessories. Let's get the Shredder out here, and let's take a closer look at everything that he has to offer. When it comes to NECA figures, they do amazing with their Universal Monster line and their monsters, but I think what they excel best at, probably second best, would be the Turtles line. This Shredder is beautiful. This is a flawless looking Shredder figure, and it's fantastic on how they did this figure. I adore the way they did this figure. You're probably going to hear that a lot throughout this video, but it's an amazing looking figure and it's painted beautifully. So of course we're going to go into painting and sculpting. I think the outfit looks fantastic. I think it looks beautiful. I love that purple look with almost that kind of like sparkle to it is beautiful. My wife was mentioning this. She loves the way this outfit looks because it really does remind you of like those classic Mortal Kombat characters, and I think it just is beautifully captured. I love the spikes on the shoulder. I think that just looks awesome. The simplicity of the outfit, and then of course moving the cape out of the way, you get those beautiful looking wrist gauntlets with the blades on them. That is just so cool. I think the only gripe, the only tiny little thing that I really don't care for the figure is when you turn to the shoulders here, you can see a little bit of his skin poking out right there. That is the only thing that I can see wrong with this figure. But other than that, it's perfect. It's beautiful. I adore the way this thing looks. Down to the belt too. I really do like how they did the belt, because not only do they have a plastic kind of cover for the belt here, but there's also a fabric belt here to give it that look of realism, I guess. But it's so cool looking, and I really do like the way it looks, and I really do like it. I believe you can move it up just a little bit more so it kind of meets the middle, which I kind of do prefer, but that just looks awesome. And then probably my second favorite thing, actually probably my first favorite thing, is this beautiful helmet. This is the helmet he remakes in the movie that you see, making it more spikier and just more badass. And I really do love the way the mask looks, and it's so cool looking. You can see that you can see his inside of his mouth. I really do like the mouth guard. This whole head is fantastic. Now in the movie, I do believe this whole arch piece was bigger, but I think it's a perfect size for the actual figure. And I really do like kind of like the shingles on the actual helmet. I think that looks so cool with that kind of chainmail at the very top. I think that is very, very cool. And again, it gives off that kind of Darth Vader shape, which makes him look so menacing. That's kind of why I really thought that this was like an amazing villain. He is an amazing villain, but he has that same kind of helmet shape as Darth Vader, and I think that's just what made me think that this was this is like one of the badass villains with Vader. So yeah, I really still do think so to this day. But the sculpting work is just absolutely amazing. I really do like everything that you see here. You get a lot with what your money's worth. I think it's awesome. This is like a $30 figure, but it looks so cool. And of course he has like the shin guards here with those very nice looking little boots. I guess not really boots, they're just like shoes, kind of like a Japanese style shoes, I believe. But it does just look so cool. The belt fabric I did mention. Blades are very nice. They are kind of sharp, so do be careful, just a little bit. They are kind of a harder plastic, which is a little scary, but it's not so hard that it is probably gonna break, but I would just still be careful. They are nice and sharp. The mouse plate, of course, is removable as well, which is really, really cool, and it reveals more of the head sculpt, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. And what else is removable is the cape, but the cape on the figure just makes him look so cool. This pattern for this cape is so amazingly done, and I really do like how it looks. I just think this is such an iconic cape design, and I just really do like just this little funky pattern that's going on here, and it just looks so cool, and it really fits the Shredder well. No bendy wire. The only bendy wire you do get is at the very brim of here, which we will take a look at in a minute. But it just looks so cool, and I just absolutely love the way this figure looks all together, and it's just amazing. Again, we're gonna reveal the gauntlet. That's so cool. It's so neat. It's such an awesome figure, and of course you do have the closed fists, as you can see here, but it's so amazing. It's such a good figure, and I absolutely adore the way this figure looks. So let's take a look with him without the helmet or the mouth plate, which pretty much all you have to do is just pull it out. I mean, it's a little tricky because they are on, like, I guess like a tab on the sides of the helmet or on the side of his head. So taking it out is a little bit of a struggle. Putting it in is also a struggle too, but you pretty much just gotta line it up, finick with it a little bit, and yeah, you should be good. The cape is the weirdest part, which we'll get to in a second, but let's take a look with him without his accessories real quick. So I was kind of just gonna do this off camera, but I think it's a lot easier to show you guys, but I'm gonna do this real quick. Removing the cape is very interesting because it is a bendy wire and it's kind of hooked on to the side here, so you can kind of see it moves up into here and it hooks all the way over here. So pretty much all you have to do, and what I find to be the easiest way, it's very scary because the wire itself feels a little fragile. Not really, but it feels like it could break very easily, so I would just like be very careful with taking it off. But I'm definitely leaving it on for the most part because he does look really cool with it on. But I like to grab it. I'm gonna see if I can get the light a little bit here. I like to grab it from the base here and then pull up with it just a little bit, and that should pop it out like so. And there you go. And then it should be easy on the other side as well. And boom, you have the cape off. Just make sure it doesn't go through the fabric and you lose that piece forever. But there's the cape off, and here he is without his stuff, and he does look very nice. That little head sculpt he has here, since we're kind of here, might as well just look at it, looks very, very cool, and I really do like the way it looks. I really need some more white lights in here. Let's turn on this light real quick. But it does look very nice. I really do like the way it looks. He's very beat up, very scarred from, you know, being thrown into the garbage truck here, but it looks very nice. You can see those tabs on the back of the head here, but it looks super nice. I really do like the detailing of the face. It just looks all cut up and beaten and just, you know, nice little bloody mess. Really, really cool. And then when you turn the figure around, you get a more detailed shot of the back of the figure, which is very, very nice. You can see him without the cape and stuff. And putting on the mask is a pretty simple process. You just kind of got to get these little holes on the side of the helmet here and put them into the actual tabs, which there's not really an easy way to do it. You pretty much just got to push and finick with it just a little bit. That one went in, and then this one you just gotta, you know, get into as best you can, and boom, there you go. There is the Shredder without the cape, and I think it does look very cool. Pretty accurate to the movie, because for the first part of the movie he does not have his cape until kind of the last you know, parts of the movie, and it does look very nice. I really do like the way this looks, but I do prefer the cape on, mainly just because I don't really like taking it off, so that I'm leaving the cape on for now, but you can have it display however you want. But yeah, that's just one of the options. You can get him in some very nice poses, mostly just more menacing poses. I'm pretty sure I can get him into something really cool when I put the spear in hand, but here he is with the little vial. Really do like the way that looks. I think that just looks so cool with him with that vial in hand. But it's such an iconic character. Like, there's no way you could hate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, especially with the Shredder being the main villain. It's just so cool. I think Shredder is the only character that you can have hold a flower and have him look badass doing it. It just looks so cool. And I do want to mention that the cape is beautiful. I really do like how the cape flows when you have the figure kind of just chilling. But it just looks so nice and it flows very nicely. I really am glad that they didn't add bendy wire. When I saw the pictures of the original figure, I wasn't much of a fan of how the bendy wire looked on the figure. But the way that this drapes so nicely, it's so good, and I'm really happy with how the figure looks. But he just looks so neat with the flower in hand, especially with the shadow cast over his eyes. That just looks so cool. If you do try hard enough, you can get him into some menacing poses, and look how cool this looks. I am very tempted to have him on the shelf like this, because that just looks so cool. I am so just happy that I got him into this pose. I love how the helmet is just barely covering his eyes. The sword is just wide open, like he's ready to strike. The hand is just like, open, ready for anything. It just looks so cool, and I love the stance that I got him in. And I'm very tempted to take some pictures after I stop the video right here. But it just looks so cool. I am so happy with this figure. Looks so awesome. I definitely am so happy with it. He definitely has some pretty decent articulation too, which we'll take a look at in a second. So, getting the posability out of the way, he can look up that far, he can look down that far, he's got a little bit of side to side, and of course, some swivel at the head, of course. The arm can go out about that far. It can do a full 360, but it's not like a full one. You kind of have to worry about this little whole shoulder part that's in the way, but it can go a full 360. You have a swivel at the bicep kind of up here, and of course one down here as well, but it also can turn into a double bend at the elbow, which is nice. He has a wrist swivel, which a hinge joint as well. He has a swivel at the waist, kind of a waist crunch, just a tiny bit, nothing crazy. It's a very light one. His legs can go out to about that far, which is a very nice spread, which I really do appreciate. Leg can go out to about that far, can go back that far. Just be careful that it doesn't lose the illusion of an actual pant leg. He has a normal bend at the knee, but he also has a nice double bend as well, which is very, very cool. He has a hinge joint at the foot, and it can pivot as well, which you also get some foot detail there. So posability on this figure is really cool, and I'm just super happy that he can pose the way he can. So I only have two villains that I really want to see the Shredder be side by side with, and that is the Marvel Legends Doctor Doom figure, which I think is an awesome villain and really does have that same kind of presence as the Shredder and Darth Vader. So I don't know, I think that he would also be in my top 5 villains, but they both look really cool together. They look ready to rule the world right now. And the final villain I want to see the Shredder with is Darth Vader himself. These two right here are my entire childhood, Darth Vader and the Shredder. It's so cool to see these two together. I always adored these two's design, and the same with Doctor Doom too. But yeah, just these two together just hits. It hits pretty different. So very happy that I own these two figures. I would love to have one that's to scale with the Shredder. I just want a big Darth Vader that matches the scale with a Neca figure. Don't know why, it just feels appropriate, because I would love to see Darth Vader, probably come up to here. I think that would be more appropriate than down here. But yeah, awesome, really awesome to see these two. So, what do I think of this figure? I think you pretty much already know what I think of this figure. It is beautiful. It's fantastic. There's nothing that's going to beat this figure from getting a low score. I think the only two things that I have a problem with are seeing the shoulder skin tone when you look inside like the shoulder, and the wiring. The wiring is getting kind of annoying, especially when you're trying to pose the cape. You can see that it is jetting out a little bit, so I'm gonna have to try and fix that, mainly just kind of round it off a little bit more so it stays in place. But yeah, everything else is amazing. The paintwork is so good. The sculpting is fantastic with the cloth pieces as well. I think that's so cool. I just think that this whole figure is amazing. The quality of the figure is awesome. The accuracy is on point, and it's just overall an amazing figure. So I really do have to give this a 5 out of 5. This is a perfect figure, and it's definitely a contender for Figure of the Year, which is coming up in just a month. That's insane to think about. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this figure. If you think this figure is worth it, if you think this figure is not worth it, if you guys are going to pick up this figure, if you have the figure, I would love to know your opinion about it. But it's so awesome, and I just cannot keep my eyes off of it. And it's just so fun to just mess around with and play with, that it's amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the video, please like and subscribe. If you don't, that's totally fine. Videos will be up on the channel for Friday, I believe. I can't keep track of time, but when this video comes out, it will probably be on Friday, I believe. So I'm very happy with this figure, and I hope you guys are too. And definitely, again, let me know your thoughts on it. And probably on the movies too as well. But I have more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures coming very soon, but this is only the first of many figures, or at least a handful of figures that I'm wanting for my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 shelf. And yeah, this is the first one. So definitely, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.